I think that's depending on the background. If I look at our German investors, they normally demand us on a yield where we should have at least a 4 on the front. 4.5 might be nicer, especially if you go outside Germany. Why should you go outside Germany if the yield is lower than you get it inside Germany? So the story is you have to have a cash yield on 4.5, which is quite hard to generate outside Germany, to generate in the Dutch market currently. But we see some change going on, and possibly we will see this by the end of the year, early next year, that we are in a range that makes it possible for us.
Okay, and Jaap, are you seeing similar?
Just an add on the yield that's after cost distribution yields of the funds. It's not the yield of the property itself.
And are you seeing similar demand in terms of the investors for yield? Is that the sort of area as well? Yeah.
No, it's a bit higher actually. So it's somewhere between 5 and 6 on total return, with a good income yield in there. That's possible on residential. And on the flip side, we would do the same if we make 5 to 6% total return in the Netherlands, and we would go out into Germany. You know, that's something like a home bias here. You would be looking for higher returns in Germany. So that's an interesting equation we have here.
Okay, good. And Laure, in terms of returns, what are your investors looking for?
Well, I mean, some of the investors we have, including Dutch investors that are core investors and long-term investors, are happy with a lower cash-on-cash yield because they see the long-term capital appreciation. And other investors are looking at, you know, as I was mentioning earlier, taking some development risk and getting, again, long-term access to stock. So in the London area, the cash yield, you know, if you invest in a good quality portfolio in London, your cash-on-cash yield is going to be 3%. If you go in the region, then at the moment we have investment yields of between 8 and 10% in some areas in the region. So much higher gross investment yields. So the cash yield is still obviously lower after all of the cost, but that's a different market.